Hello, my fabulous Leos, and welcome to my channel, Ruby Rose Tarot. I am so thrilled to have you here. My channel is new, but I have been doing readings for over 10 years, and with a lot of love and encouragement and support, I have decided, well, people wanted me to do a video channel, and I agreed, just there never seemed to be a right time to launch it, and now I'm launching it in the middle of doing a cross-country move. I am packing to move many states away from where I am. And it's all good though. I think it was meant to happen. So here I am, and I'm so excited to do a general reading for Leos because Leos are a little bit of my tribe, a little bit of my people. I am a Cancer Leo cusp. So when I was born, actually, Leo started on July 22nd, and then they moved that date forward. So now it's July 23rd. So it was very interesting when I was younger and I was growing up. Some would have Leos starting on the 22nd and some starting on the 23rd. I was born on the 22nd. So I feel both Cancer and Leo energy, plus my moon is in Leo. So I felt all the eclipse last year, and I'm feeling all the eclipse in Cancer this year. It's fun, right? Yeah, you know, guys, the energy has been really heavy. My poor Leos, man. But you guys are troopers. You're all heart. God bless you. So let's get to your reading. Do a general reading. It's a little general. I like to be a little more specific sometimes, but obviously I can't do that. This is kind of an overall. But hopefully something will resonate with you and help you and give you some clarity or just make you think about something, which is really what it's all about. For you just to have a different perspective and look at something in a different way. Let's launch into your astrology for the month of June. When I was getting ready to do your reading, I was channeling a little and asking for messages for Leo. And what came through was the word play and then followed by not so serious. And which is so odd for Leos because I was like, this can't be right. But then I was like, no, it totally is, because I feel like Leos have been so serious. Like you really have had your nose to the grindstone and getting stuff done. And I feel like it's more work project or a creative launch or something that you are doing more in the career zone. And you've just been so consumed with it that you haven't been out having that Leo good time and enjoying your friends. And you need that because that is what keeps Leo going. And so get out, play, have fun. Don't worry about the work project. I feel like you've been so stressed or really pushing. What I feel is that work project is not moving at the pace that you want it to move. And so you're getting really frustrated and you feel like the more you push and push and push, it'll happen, or you're trying to will it to happen. But it doesn't happen that way, right? You know, if you're clenching something or pushing something so hard, it has no room to expand or grow or develop into what you want it to do. So literally, if you just relax and release the grip a little bit, I think you'll be very surprised with what happens. Stuff will start happening and you'll be a lot happier, right? Stuff does not blossom or grow under a lot of pressure. It doesn't. And all of this is really supported by your new moon in Gemini, which happens on the 3rd in your 11th house of friendship. It's going to be a great time for you to hit the reset button, reset your energy, shake all that energy, that serious energy off, and go out and enjoy your friends. It is definitely right for you for the first part of the month because you got Mercury in Cancer. I feel like this could be that you're going to have these late night discussions with your friends. You guys could go out and go party and then you're going to sit in the parking lot and talk till 6 a.m. about something emotional or deep or who knows, or even light, who knows, but it's exactly what you've needed. And then on the 8th, you're going to have Venus that enters Gemini, and she's frisky. That's a frisky, so all the energy is really supported for you to go out at the beginning of the month and just lighten up and remember what life is about. Enjoy your friends, have a good time, because the middle of the month gets a little trickier. So on the 12th, Mars, which is in your 12th house, conjuncts the North Node and opposes Saturn. So this happens in your 12th house of subconscious, unconscious things. And then you're going to pair that with the 15th when Mercury conjuncts the North Node and opposes Saturn. 3 days later, the exact same thing. And this happens in your 6th house of health and habits. And I really want to drill in on the habit because I feel like with Mars opposing Saturn in the North Node on the 12th and then Mercury opposing Saturn over the North Node 3 days later in your 6th house, I feel like you're going to be dealing with something karmic, you know, and Capricorn, Cancer in the North Node is all about your path. And so if there is something in your subconscious or in your habit that is keeping you from being on the right path, it is definitely, I feel like it's definitely going to come up at this time. You know, and habits are subconscious, right? We are not aware of our habits, and habits are not just smoking. We think habits are like bad, you know, more noticeable, recognizable habits, like eating healthy habits and gym habits and smoking habits or doing those. No, habits can even be the way that you react to situations, right? And I feel like the middle of the month may be a complete situation where you just habitually, the way you always have, just react to something rather than taking a pause and having a moment where you realize, okay, this way I'm acting in this situation really has nothing to do with me. I took it personal. I got offended because I always get offended. This triggered up some stuff in my life when, you know, my mom or my dad or someone did that to me, or a relationship where someone did something to me. And so now I'm carrying that habit around. And when that person triggered that, they're triggering this old stuff. Does that make sense? I hope so. Because I feel like that's what's really going to happen around the middle of the month. Something is going to trigger you, and you're really going to have to look at your unconscious and subconscious habits and patterns, because you're going to react to someone. You're going to, you know, hopefully shoot the gut. Well, not hopefully. You're going to probably, you know, shoot first and ask questions later, and that's not always wise. You need to take the pause because you may be apologizing later. So now that you're conscious of this, you know, aware of this, hopefully that doesn't happen and you make a different choice. So moving along, what's nice about the 15th is the full moon is in Sag, a fellow fire sign. So that's positive. That should be a fun time. That should, I feel like, should release some of the pressure a little bit from the days before. And then the sun enters Cancer on the 21st. Happy summer solstice. Aging closer to your birthday season. Mercury does enter shadow though, and will retrograde in your sign. So Mercury enters Leo on the 26th and will later retrograde. Now, Mercury in retrograde is not a time to freak out. Everyone freaks out when Mercury goes into retrograde. That is not what Mercury is about. Mercury is about stopping and addressing the stuff that you have not been addressing. So, bad analogy, but let's give it. So if you keep hearing that tick in your car, that little knock in your car, and you keep ignoring it, and if you keep ignoring it, well, Mercury in retrograde is going to make you deal with it. And you're going to be broken down by the side of the road because you have not dealt with it. That's what Mercury makes you do. Mercury makes you come and fix all the projects that you've been ignoring, right? Because we're so busy moving forward. And especially you, Leo, what I'm feeling like you have just had your nose to the grindstone and you're so worried about moving forward. And you may even be very frustrated by this Mercury in retrograde because it's going to delay stuff even more or just slow it down even more. If you thought stuff was already going slow, it's going to go even slower. But what you need to do is you need to take the time and you need to address the issues that you're not addressing. You know? Yeah. So that is your astrological month for June. Just a quick overview. I didn't really break it down super heavy. Maybe I'll do at some point separate astrology and tarot. Who knows? We'll see how it goes, right? But let's get to your cards. So I'm going to lay it out in Celtic Cross. I've been shuffling them. And Alright, so I always love it when I pull cards and they kind of support what I've already been talking about. Okay. So the first card is Temperance. And I'm not surprised because I feel for you, Leos, it has been imbalanced. Hence why I'm saying you need to get out and play. I do feel like you have very much been having your nose to the grindstone and you're not taking time to enjoy and love on yourself enough. And a lot of that is supported by the Empress. The Empress? I made up a new word. The Empress. And she is crossing Temperance. And to me, I'm feeling that that's just not enough self-love. You know, which is so rare for Leos. I just can't even believe I'm saying this because Leos are all about love and all about self-love and a little bit of indulgence. I love you guys, but it's true. I know, I have that Leo in me. I like to self-indulge. And so I feel like, strangely enough, you have not been in your element. You have not been loving on yourself enough. And this is very much a card of loving yourself and nurturing yourself. But I also feel like this is interesting. I also feel like this could also be a really crazy creative time for you. And with Mercury in Cancer, you may be feeling super, super creative, which will be enhanced by being around friends, right? Because if you're around friends and you're feeling jovial, stuff just happens much more creatively there. Or if you're in the opposite, you're like, no, I'm miserable, I'm so sad. Well, great. Journal that and make something out of that, right? Create a sappy, horrible breakup song. That'd be great. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like you not only do you need to nurture yourself, this actually could be a really creative period of time for you. June may be super, super awesome that way. You are moving through a period, I feel like you guys, this is interesting. You guys need to, yep, sorry, just looking at your cards. So you're moving away from the Knight of Swords. And I feel like you have just been having so many thoughts running through your head. It's interesting because usually you are having a lot of new thoughts moving through your head, which I think is also creative. Totally, there's a creative vibe. But you also are probably in a bad, if you are beating up on yourself a lot, if there's a lot of thoughts that are looping, I usually call them looping, right? You keep thinking the same thought over and over again. Or you have a thought that just spirals you down into a bad depression. You need to stop that. And obviously easier said than done. There are ways to do that. And if you're interested, let me know. But I feel like your thoughts are running you and you are not running your thoughts a little bit. And hence where the creative, getting out with friends, reminding yourself, I even think, take a walk in nature would be great if you need to. But for Leos, they really get recharged being around friends and having a good time. And that's going to help you creatively too. It's going to help you creatively. Because, yeah, in your subconscious, this is Leo, 9 of Cups. I don't know if you can see it. My autofocus. My autofocus is being terrible right now. You have the 9 of Cups. That is the pure energy of Leo, right? You're so loving. Leos have the biggest hearts, right? And they want everyone to have a good time. They want to have a good time. And that's not happening, but it's in there. It just needs to be unleashed along with that creative energy. Because what's crowning before you is very interesting. Is the 10 of Swords, excuse me. Where the swords, the really dramatic one with all the swords in its back. And what's great about that is I feel like that combines, that's very interesting. Sorry, I'm looking at your cards. There's very much a surrender going here. A surrendering and a releasing of thoughts and patterns, which is the middle of the month's going to be interesting for you guys. You guys are exhausting yourself too. Here's your 4 of Swords and what you're coming into. This is what you're moving towards, the 4 of Swords. So, but what's interesting about this 4 of Swords, which I love, I really love, and I don't know, again, if you can see. So there's 3 swords here, and then he's reaching for a sword down here. And I always feel like you may be feeling a little on, which is interesting because this is your outcome. So I'm going to put this all together for you. This is a 5 of Wands, right? The defensive card. So I feel like whatever situation you're in, you are feeling very defensive. And it could be at work, it could be at home. I feel like it's more career related, why you're beating your head against the wall. And what you are normally doing, Leo, I think this is a perfect time this month. The stuff that you are normally doing is not working, and hence the reevaluation of habits and subconscious stuff. Because you're feeling attacked. Whatever it is, you're feeling attacked. You're feeling like you have to be on the defensive all the time. And you need to surrender a bit, right? You don't need to defend, you don't need to be right. Hard for Leo, the pride. Oh gosh, this is a hard lesson for you guys this month. Whew, I can feel it, like I literally am feeling it. This is a hard lesson for you guys this month. It's a good, but the lesson will be so incredibly valuable. You do not have to win. And I'm going to tell you guys a story. I didn't mean to tell you guys a story, but I'm going to. So when I used to work in corporate America, long story, I had a boss and very unhealthy situation, and me and another coworker would go in, and we worked in television at the time, and he liked to beat us up, and we had noticed that he stopped sending stuff in emails, so we started taking copious notes in our meetings, and he brought us in to beat us up over something. And my coworker and I are like, no, we both have the same exact notes from the same exact meeting. This is what you wanted us to do. He just didn't like the result, and he wanted to make it seem like it was our fault. And I, being the Leo, of course I wanted to defend. I'm like, I'm so not, that is not my, like, I didn't make this decision. You made it right. I was such a need to defend, such a need with my reputation and my pride and my Leo-ness. My coworker, though, went, I will never forget it, goes, all right, it's my fault. I'm to blame. Can we move on now? And all the air just literally went out of the room. It was the most amazing thing. And what he did was, by claiming blame, even though it wasn't his blame and he knew it wasn't, but he just went, fine. It's all my fault. Blame me. Can we move on now? He just took all the power from my boss. It was the most amazing thing, and I just sat there going, oh, wow, right? So amazing. It's like that, Leo. Your need to defend is actually disempowering you. And if you just surrender the need to defend your position, to even go, you know what? Even go, I'm not wrong, but if it makes you feel better for me to say I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Who has the power then? Right? Who ultimately has the power? And I feel like this is a big lesson for you, because I don't know why that story came in, but for me, this could be what you need to move forward this month. Because there's some other great cards here, but they're accompanied, like you have the King of Cups. You have the Knight of Wands, which could be a new job potential, or in the fact that that's in your position of environment. So you probably are sitting there wanting a new job, aren't you? Or to move forward, or promotion, or whatever out of your situation. And your hopes and fears are the King of Cups. You want to feel more powerful, right? And the Emperor is your approach. Interesting, guys. So your approach is the Emperor. Your approach is having all authority. And that may not work for you. You may need to balance, which is interesting, you may need to balance it more with the King of Cups. All right? Balance those two energies. Yes, your impulse is to be the Leo and to come in with your king stately Leo-ness, but that's not working at the moment, or may not be working for the situation. Your authority or your expertise at this moment isn't working. So you're going to have to learn a new lesson on how to do that. And that's going to be a challenge for you this month. But a great lesson. I feel like this is preparing you, and I just want to pull a couple more cards. I really feel like this is preparing you for something big. Like this is, guys, this is a big lesson, a good lesson this month. And if you're not here to learn, then what the heck are we here to do? We're just here to become our best versions of ourselves, right? And I feel like this is a big step for you, because you can really, what's interesting is you're trying to be the Emperor, but if you step back, and do that and not worry about the reputation or people or what's saying, and just be in your power, not worry about the external validation, but worry about your own internal validation, then you truly will be the emperor. You won't be acting like the emperor, you will be the emperor. See the difference? Because you acting like the emperor is wanting to seek power and validation from other people. You truly being the emperor is going, you know what, I don't care what they say about me or what I did. I know that I acted in the best interest. I know what I did was right. And I have a feeling maybe down the line, 3 months, 2 months later, all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, yeah, we didn't realize you were right about that project. You were. Like, yeah, because you were the emperor. You knew. Gosh, I really hope that resonates for some of you. I feel like it does. There's someone out there that speaks to. Maybe, clearly not all. Not everyone's in that situation. But there are definitely, I feel like it's not just one. All right. Oh. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely someone out there. Yeah, you do that. You stop swinging around and just relax a little bit. And new job, new promotion, that thing, it's going to happen. Whoops, something else just jumped out really quick. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh. Wow. You got the Tower with the Fool. All right, so the last 3 cards I pulled were the Ace of Wands, the Tower, and the Fool. So, yeah. Those are all really powerful cards. What I am intuiting feeling like is if you don't take that approach, if you continue on the path, that habit of pounding the grindstone, if you just keep hammering and hammering the way you're doing it, you may be really ticking some people off. And you could get the Tower where it doesn't end the way you want it to end. Or you take a step back, get in your power, and then also too, that can also help you see a situation different. Like, am I the problem, or is this, oh my gosh, this place is just really dysfunctional. I've been trying to hold it together and make it work, but I'm going to take a step back and take my ego out of it and realize it's never going to work. I need to move on, right? So much going on here. Ah, wow. I feel like July, this is a big mind-blowing month for you guys, Leo. Wow. I'm so excited for you. Huge month. I feel like you guys are going to be on a whole new path in July, which would be amazing because you're planting the seeds for the eclipse, and I feel like then this could really, but wow. Oh, and then the Star at the bottom of the deck. Oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah. Leos, look, I'm not going to say that like June's going to be a white cakewalk. It's not. It is going to be a roller coaster a bit, but the potential is amazing. I really think this is a month where you guys have some serious revelations and some serious enlightenment. And I really do think it has to do around the workplace. You know, I really think if you just step back and stop being so emotionally involved in it and really disconnect yourself emotionally from it and watch as an observer. There's a great book called The Untethered Soul that talks about that. It's where you're sitting back and you're watching things, even as a soul. You have a completely different perspective and less from the ego. And I feel like that's what's happening here for you. Either you decide that you're going to continue to work or continue to be on this project or whatever, or you're going to completely scrap it or say F you to your boss and you're done, or you're looking for a new job. I mean, I wouldn't say line up a job before you get another one. You may even have a job offer come in and maybe you were on the fence before, and then after you remove yourself, you're like, oh no, I'm out. You know? Wow. Oh my gosh, I have a feeling like, wow, I'm sorry, I have tingles. I have a feeling that like July could be just crazy good for you. And I know that's like every astrologer's like, no, it's not, it's eclipse season. I don't know. I feel like June is totally this like diving board where you're just getting ready to launch yourself. Whew, so excited for you guys and me too. Wow. Okay. Oh, guys, please let me know how it goes. I am so excited to hear from you, and hopefully this gives you some clarity or some insight to something. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the future. Bye, Leos.